With diabetes, like you are constantly 24 hours a day, never off the clock, saving your own life.
Oh,
And so like just growing up, just being an adult itself gets exhausting. But when I have to constantly think, I always know what my blood sugar is. I always have to think about how much insulin I have. On average, a diabetic makes 180 more decisions a day than an average human. So like I'm just like every day I'm on overdrive. I just can never like sit down.
Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s. And it's hard. It was hard.
it's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women.
All the moms, 40, 20.
And also, like, let's just talk about, like, real shit. Real life, real women.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also, it's funny. Life is funny.
Let me just pull my bush out of my bush.
Cheers.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Guys, we are mature-ish mamas. Megs and I over here, we're in the mid-40s. Megs is talking about her luteal, lunar, sleeping, perimenopause shit all morning.
It's fantastical.
She's rocking that. We're raising toddlers who they're downstairs. They're raising themselves right now. Who's really raising them? Let's talk about that. And then we have little Miss Olivia, who is just entering the 20s of her life. You're 21 now, though, right?
Nope, I am so close. November.
Okay.
November. Woo!
Big day.
Yes.
We got a lot of people we love born in November.
Yeah, we do.
Those, what is it? February 14th babies.
The
They were
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. You want
Gotcha.
I'll tell you a story actually real quick. My mom, my sister's actually born on Valentine's Day. And so she was having a Finding Nemo birthday party. And so she'll probably kill me for saying this, but she always tells me, she's like, Nemo wasn't the only thing swimming that day.
Oh, so you're a little surprise from your sissy's birthday party.
Yep.
Oh, that's precious. I never actually did the math. We did this another time where we were like doing math on months.
Month math, yeah.
Month math.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but all the
that's when you
November
had
babies,
SEX.
Okay, so that's why there's such a strong presence in November.
Yeah.
Not our parents were like, Thanksgiving's really cool. No, I don't know what they.
I'm so full. Take your clothes
Let
off.
me stuff you some more.
On point. Olivia, you are welcome to do every episode with us.
Yes.
You have already passed every test there is.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so we are excited to share with you guys and just talk about motherhood from a different perspective. Motherhood from childhood. I mean, we're still going to call it childhood.
Yeah,
Because,
still is.
Yeah, you're experiencing so many things for the first time. And I think it's really neat for us mothers to hear about how other children were raised because it helps us do it better. Not that you have to tell us everything, but you can tell us most of everything.
Yeah. And it's a really cool perspective to get it from the child's point of view because, you know, we talk about what it's like to be a mom and how we try and help and build each other up as moms and how to
screw
support.
up.
Yeah, how we screw up. And then it's like, Kenzie comes in and she was like, my childhood was wonderful.
And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah, wait a second, huh? So, but also just to, I mean, I think it's really a cool thing to have an open conversation with your kid anyways about what's going on. You know, you don't have to go back later and be like, so how did I F it up?
Yeah.
You could say like, what's going on? How can I make it better? How can I do it now? And just to hear it from a elder child who's about to be 21.
You're a mature-ish.
You're a mature-ish
Mature-ish.
child.
I'll take
Mature-ish
that.
child. I love that. Now we have a name for it. These are called the mature-ish children episodes.
Oh, I love
that.
it.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect.
Done.
Yeah, cool.
So why don't we just start by just telling us a little bit about you?
For sure. Okay, so I'm about to enter in a few days, actually, my junior year at Arizona State. Again, I'm almost 21. I've been diabetic for 6 years, been a celiac about 2.5. Raised mostly with a single parent, my mom. Shout out. I'm the youngest of 2 kids. Yeah, I don't know where else to go from there, but
That's a great start.
That's what we're looking for. So talking about just like from the beginning piece of you've been raised mostly by your mom, because I think for us moms, developing a strong relationship, a mother-daughter relationship can be It can be beautiful. It can be really freaking hard when you're both in your luteal phases at the same time.
Seriously, man.
So just share with us some things about you and your mom's relationship. What's been supportive in that? And then maybe like be thinking in the back of your head, like what maybe would I want, would it have been better if it was different a little bit?
There's definitely so much to unravel with that. She's my best friend, and just the way she carries herself, like I got to see her go through, for context, I guess, like I lost my dad, what year is it?
2025.
Okay, he passed in 22, so it's been 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
But he wasn't present before then for a good chunk of years. We moved around a lot for his job, but he was always like out of the house and stuff. But it was basically always just my mom bringing us to sports. And then growing up, she was the main person that helped me with my health, and still continues to. But she's the one that had to I've just watched her take care of everything financially, just me and my sister moving. Like there's just so many responsibility things that she's had to take on, and I've gotten to watch myself. And she is my biggest inspiration, and I don't ever give her like enough shout outs, especially with how stubborn of a child I am and how much different health things I have going on. Like she deserves so much credit because her support is almost like too much. I get like my celiac diagnosis, I have the things I don't care about, but she is the one that always will wipe down the counters. Has a separate pantry for me. Like, and I'm not even living at home that much. Like I'm there for the summers now, so 3 months. And I get the whole big pantry to myself, and she has a cupboard for her food. Like she completely separates it. Like it's crazy. It's almost frustrating to me. I'm like, how, like, but I'm so grateful that she's like so hounded with so much support, and she just has done it herself this whole time. And there's so much kudos to go out, and I don't know how I could ever like repay that. So, yeah.
That's so sweet. Just know that your mom doesn't want you to repay her. Just know that, okay? She's doing it because she's your mama and she loves you. Big time.
Yeah, I don't know. Shout out you guys. Maybe because I'm 20 and don't want a kid right now or couldn't do a kid.
Yeah.
But, and I hate, everyone's always like, oh, I couldn't do that. Like I would if I was going to have a kid or something like that.
Yeah.
But man, like you guys, I don't know. You guys are definitely superhumans.
It's so cool to hear you talk about your mom like that, Liv, just because my daughter and Liv have been friends since, I don't even know.
I moved here in 14, so like around 14, 15.
Okay.
Oh, like 10 years.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
And they were gymnasts together. So we were carpooling the kids back and forth, and we were momming together. And I've only got to really see the stubborn side, like really of how daughters treat their moms sometimes. And Kinsey would say the same thing, like where they might love us ridiculously, but that doesn't always show on the surface because often, especially in like those later teen years, they're kind of just whether it's being like teasing or whatever, fine, but it doesn't mean that you don't like, it doesn't like feel like you're going to be like, oh mom, thank you so much for doing this. You're going to be like, mom, let me point out what you're doing wrong instead, you know? But like what you just shared, like from your heart, opening your heart, how special your mom is. And I know that's probably because you're getting older too, but it's really cool to hear you talk about her like that because that really has been her show up the whole time. Right?
Yeah. So you're talking about how your mom supported you through a lot of things that as growing up, especially you were talking about your celiac, but then you also have type 1 diabetes.
Type 1.
Do you want to just talk about what it was like and how you were diagnosed and just the way you found out? Yeah.
I wasn't diagnosed in a very typical way. I've had a lot of UTIs growing up here and there, and so I thought this was just like another typical UTI. It was the last like 2 weeks of 8th grade, and so I went in and got my UTI, and they're like, I don't think we're going to send you to the hospital right now. I'm like, for what? They found sugar in my urine and abnormal amounts of sugar in my urine. And so we're searching this up, and it says like diabetes or whatever. I'm like, I could never have diabetes. Like, what? Like, I don't think I've eaten too much sugar. Like, you know, all the misconceptions that come with it, of course, before you know what it is and you get tossed in that fire. So I was like, what do you mean getting sent to the hospital? Anyway, next few days I get sent to Barbara Davis Center for Childhood Diabetes in Colorado. Great facility, like so grateful for their care that they have provided me up until now especially. And then I spent the next, like, I had pretty big 3 intense days there where they're just like basically just told me what the rest of my life was going to look like. I sat there. I didn't even get the diabetes diagnosis. They didn't even tell me. They just sat a whole bunch of books in front of me that just said childhood diabetes with a panther on it. And then people were coming to give me an insulin shot, and all of a sudden I'm getting shaky and shit. I'm like, what? And then I have my new life on a whiteboard of all these different things, all the insulin I have to take, the ratios of carbs, like all this foreign concepts. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell?
0 to 100 for you.
Exactly. And nobody in my family, we have no history. We have one person in our family that was married in. So nothing.
No relation.
No relation
Blood
at all. Which, if you don't have anybody with like diabetes in your, like I have a 0.04% chance of getting it.
Congratulations.
You're so special.
We're balling.
Yes.
Yes.
So rare.
It's awesome.
Love
Awesome.
you.
So obviously foreign to all of us. We have really no idea what's going on. But my mom sat through me with it all, like got the first finger pricks and stuff. When she was scared for, getting a little finger prick. I'm like, girl, this is the rest of my life. So, let's amp it up. We got this.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this whole diagnosis process was, and just figuring out what your life is going to look like with diabetes and just learning about it. They caught mine pretty early again because I didn't have any of the typical symptoms. Usually people are hospitalized because of just a prolonged period of having lack of nutrients, where you are drinking, you have a lot of thirst.
Perfect opportunity. Look at this.
Hashtag see the signs. There's frequent urination, excessive thirst, exhaustion, unexplained weight loss. A lot of things can come with your vision is a big one. Same thing with kidneys. That's how I was with the UTI. So it can come across in several ways for sure. But I didn't have those typical symptoms. So I was caught super early. And so I didn't take insulin for almost like a whole year. So I had like a honeymoon period. So this helped me kind of like accept the diagnosis, I guess, over time.
So so that first year you didn't have to inject insulin?
I was not like insulin dependent.
Okay,
as I am
so
now.
you could do like diet controlled?
Yeah, essentially. Okay. At this point, I'm just learning how many carbs are in my meals, my new meals. Me and Kinsey, before practice, we'd eat, I would have a whole bowl of noodles. Like, we would eat ice cream on end. Like, I don't know what the carbs of anything is. I don't even know what carbs was or sugar. Like, and because, like, it doesn't matter how much something can be sugar-free, but there's going to be carbs on it. So it's going to affect my blood sugar. So there's so many different little things I have to tackle. And at least I did not get diagnosed with celiac at this point, too, because celiac is another autoimmune disease that goes hand in hand with diabetes, the third being thyroid. Those three usually pair together. And my lab was abnormal for celiac at the time. And then I got retested after my diet changed a little bit with diabetes a few months later. And the numbers went down a little bit. So I got kind of like lucky in that aspect. But eventually.
Another honeymooner.
Yeah.
And then eventually that kicked me in the butt.
I know a lot of people have heard the word celiac and maybe kind of have an idea of what that is. But what is it exactly?
Celiac is, oh my gosh, it's very frustrating because the symptoms that come with that are honestly endless. Like infertility is a big one with women. Bloating, just all has to do with your digestive tract a lot. Mine was just like constant exhaustion. I was so puffy because I didn't think I had any symptoms, which comes from gluten, and it's more than just gluten. It's like rye, barley, wheat, and then a whole bunch of other things I can't have either. But it's frustrating because like there's gluten-free people who choose to be gluten-free, and there's people who are celiac, and it's not the same thing at all because celiacs have to worry about cross-contamination.
Is it an actual allergy, or is it it's
an autoimmune disease. So like when you have your gluten, like your body, your autoimmune,
it attacks it as a virus or something is wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's something just to point out because gluten is such a hot topic right now, and there are so many people who just choose to eat less gluten, or they notice that their bodies feel better. Like I was always explained to, like if you had this like cup and your gluten is supposed to be in the bottom of the cup, but like once you get to a certain level, if you're still feeding it gluten, it's just like pouring over. So you kind of picture the beer foam just like falling all over, and then that's infiltrating your body. So a lot of people who are gluten free act like they're celiac, and not in like a mean way or a bad way, but like having celiac is a different animal of like having to really monitor things in a much closer way.
It's way more, and I'm still, it's going to constantly be a learning process. I didn't take my diagnosis seriously until like it took me 6 months to like stop eating gluten or stop giving myself a treat here and there or whatever, because your symptoms take so long to go away for gluten to leave your system. But like a crumb can like cause a reaction, and I'm just learning about what different things or like what different things celiacs can't have. Like that Play-Doh down there has wheat in it or something in it. I don't know, but I'm not supposed to play with that really, and at least touch my like or digest it or put it in my eyes or whatever. There's a lot of like Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer.
I used to lick it when I was a kid.
Can't have that.
Who didn't?
Yeah, I mean, I used to eat that shit too. All the things. I don't know, a yummy side treat, but not anymore. But like body scrubs. Have you heard of Tree Hut body scrubs?
Oh yeah,
I'm not supposed to have that either.
Oh,
so there's just all these
ingredients.
Yeah, my dry shampoo has wheat in it.
That's unfortunate. You found a new one, right?
I'm like, yeah. Well, I look at it. I'm like, right. I can't even have. I'm like, my hair's greasy. Like no.
I feel like I have celiac.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's like my hair gel, like my ears where I like slick my hair back too. I'm like, whatever. And I'll lay on my pillow. I'm like, you know what? I might wake up with a puffy face in the morning. Like some things I'm just like, whatever. But it's still like
it's a lot.
But
it's a lot.
And fast food restaurants, like going out to eat with celiac is a very frustrating thing over time. It's like it just gets so tiring and exhausting because so many kitchens don't have. There's just lack of knowledge. It's not really anybody's fault. And like when there's misconceptions of everything, there's always, I always say like misconceptions are just like an opportunity for somebody to learn, like to educate and stuff like that. But like restaurants are tough. Fast food, I can only have Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out because they have separate fryers for their fries. Because potatoes are gluten-free themselves, but usually everyone has like the same fryer. So
then that's probably where the more dangerous misconception can happen, is when people assume that celiac is gluten-free as opposed to the other way. Like you guys, so you can say you have celiac, you're going to be extra safe, but when they're actually celiac and you treat them as gluten-free, then that's going to be a problem.
Right.
I want to just kind of back up and share, because I was a part of Olivia's process during her diabetes diagnosis, and it was Olivia, her sister, and her mom, and they were just doing their best. And her mom's grinding, and she's working, and she's trying to support your kids going to CU, and you getting ready to go to college and pay for gymnastics and having this home and just all of the different things. And then her daughter gets this diagnosis, and she's scared. It's just so. It's so scary when your child has anything wrong with them. It's scary when they get like a cut, or like. You have to get stitches, like that's awful. But then you get this diagnosis, and they invited us to go to Barbara Davis with them to go do I think it was the family introduction kind of.
It must have been like some sort of education.
Yeah.
Kind of
so we did a day-long education with Kinsey, and Quincy was there, right? This is the one that saw Quincy be born, by the way.
I don't think Quincy was born yet.
Yeah, because we have pictures of like flipping him upside down. Like you and your mom are like shaking him.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I thought so. When was your diagnosis?
Because my oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know why I remember that. We just have pictures of him just upside down.
It was May 2019. And he was January 2019.
Yeah.
Wow, holy crap.
Yeah, so you had had just saw him come into the world from my body.
Yes.
That was special. Wait, this is a side note. Who invites a mature-ish child to come watch another kid be born? But she was like down for watching.
Not just one. There was a few children in the mature-ish children in the room.
Yeah, we had Kinsey, Jace, and Liv.
Okay,
all just sitting there with popcorn. It was like they were in a couch like this, and I was right there, whoop, legs open. Was that?
Because we were sleeping over at Haley's house, and we're like, and she's finally like, the thing's happening, and we're like, okay, shit, and let's go. And we didn't know what it was, boy or girl. Mm-hmm. That I forgot,
because we had done the not gender reveal. We did this huge video where we're like gender reveal, and then we didn't reveal it, and people were mad. Oh the girls did the video for me.
I just like, you forget about all this. Holy crap.
I love that. So Liv, you guys are at someone else's house for like a sleepover.
Yep.
And then Kenzie gets the call like, oh, your mom's in labor. Like she's giving, and you're like, hop in, I'll drive you and I'll just sit with you. Or what was like?
I don't know who came to pick us up. Was it?
Because you guys couldn't drive yet?
I think your parents did.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'll go.
And we just packed the car like sardines, and then we...
Liv's like, I'm coming. What do you... Scoot over.
Yep. Literally. Yep.
I love that.
Is that what you thought a delivery would look like? Do you even remember it?
I do remember it. I do.
I'm sure she will never forget.
It was so funny because like right as he's born and he's actually like sitting there on her chest. And she's like, "Did you see me shit on the table?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." Your mom stepped in. You actually stepped in perfect timing. It was just like your mom, and then you're like, so.
And usually you can't feel it, but when you don't have an epidural, you're like, oh, that's a baby, and I think that's shit.
Yeah, that's another.
I'm not sure. I hope the baby doesn't get shit on it. Whatever,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, they're pretty quick about it, those nurses. They're like, boop, you just wipe it right out.
Yep. That's what. So that's the part she remembers. I just remember the doctor saying right afterwards, like, telling you guys, like, that was not, you did not do a good job of providing birth control, because I wasn't, like, screaming or anything. I just pushed baby out.
Yes.
So that's...
Holy crap, yeah.
Holy crap.
Because you were just, you were
holy
just
crap on the
breathing and
table.
you were just like, yeah, dude, you were more calm, collected than probably any of us.
Oh my gosh! And then the little monkey
about
head
right.
just popped out. That
All
dark
that hair.
black hair.
Little cubert.
That hair.
And I was certain it was a girl, and then a penis. Bing! There it was. Oh,
man.
Quince, we love you. Okay, that wasn't part of the story we were telling, though. So, anywho, forgot all about that. But now we're at Barbara Davis, and we're with her, and we get to do this incredible learning experience, which was overwhelming for me as a nutrition coach. I knew about gluten. I knew about carbs. I knew about all these things. And when we would pick her up for practice, like, I'd be like, okay, do you girls want me to bring you a huge bowl of buttered noodles or mac and cheese, right? You did mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Those were the two things that I would have. And it would be like 2 boxes of mac and cheese. This is what they would eat on the way to practice. So this shift, like, just, we were like, oh my gosh, how is this baby girl going to do this? Because she was, I would say she eats kind of like Witten eats now. Okay. It was like 2 or 3 food groups.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. And wouldn't really
Noodles is one of them.
Yep.
All carb, like just
All
carb
carbs,
loaded.
yeah.
All carb
Overall.
loading. Yeah. And we're like, and now here we go into this. And then the other memory that I have is, just her wanting to have normal childhood experiences, but now she's having to check her insulin. And your mama and you, we were on her like radar, so we would get a notification every time she went high or low, which is so cool. Like, we're over here sleeping. I'm like, oh, Olivia's high right now. Wait, no. Okay, it's back to normal. So I could, like, see where her blood sugars were, just to support her mom and have her mom know that somebody else in her community was there. Even though I wasn't doing anything, I felt like I got to at least support her emotionally, like, a little bit. Like, okay, somebody else is seeing these numbers too.
100%.
You know?
That's so true, Cal.
Well, and sorry to cut you off.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Kinsey's birthday party, because I had, at this time when I was newly diagnosed, I had to get my blood sugar checked at like 12 and 2 a.m. So my mom was constantly the one doing this.
Because she'd kind of sleep and she would sneak in.
And she would go prick my finger and see what was up. And then I was it was Kinsey's birthday and we went out to Wyoming or whatever, and Cal would come to the car and stuff and come prick my finger. I never woke up to any of that stuff, ever.
So they'd sleep in the back of the car. And this is my first time being a diabetes mama too. So I'm like, okay, in camping, I mean, back then I used to stay up past 9. I know, I did. Isn't that wild?
Whoa. So you were still awake at midnight to prick her finger?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Or like, I'd be like, I'll just go to bed at 2 after I do like the second finger prick or whatever. But it's just another example of creating that community of women who are going to be there to support each other through the hard shit that we have to go through. And I was just honored to be able to be a part of that. Poor mama. But then I didn't get to be there for the celiac part. Dang, girl.
Still a learning curve all around. But it is like truly just the foundation and support that has grown. And it's taken, I mean, now I just like, I sit back and I'm like, I do have such a team behind me, and it continues to grow, and it's okay to let people in is what I'm also learning. And I'm grateful that I also got diagnosed like so late in my life. Like, you have had to deal with all this different health thing, like right when Witten can't even verbally tell you what's going on with inside his body. Like, at least like I am now, like, especially like with my growing body, I am learning how to be intuitive with my body and what's going on. So that's like I think that's such a big like key difference too, because I'm so grateful I had the diagnosis like so much later in my life, that I did know what it was like to go to the pantry and not think about it, or go to a birthday party and not have to think about it, or go on a run or something and not have to think about my blood sugar, how much insulin I need, like all this mind decisions that diabetes tackles on. I'm just happy I got that so much like later in my upbringing.
It's crazy because, you know, you guys might know if you've watched the episodes, Witten has diabetes insipidus and hers is diabetes mellitus. And they changed the name because people keep getting so confused about Witten's diagnosis because everybody knows about diabetes, but they don't know about diabetes insipidus. So we would go to the hospital and they're like trying to check his blood sugar. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Check his sodium because it's a complete different disease.
Yep.
But they call it sugar diabetes and water diabetes because if you taste their urine, because this is what how they used to doctor, it tasted like sugar.
Who got that job?
Right?
That's, I mean, when
New guy, come on.
That's how diabetics used to like tell if their blood sugar was high or not, is if
Taste their
by
sugar.
the taste.
Because
Yeah.
it's sugary.
Yeah,
Sweet.
sugary.
By the taste, look,
Or
yeah.
salty.
Yep. No, Witten's would be water. So
Watery. Yeah, that's right, 'cause
They
his
always
gets
say
real-
it's like sterile. Like you could clean the floors with Witten's pee when he's unmedicated. And yours, you could make a sugary
Dude,
cocktail.
I've seen that. Like,
Kool-Aid.
you can make whiskey and stuff. I'm like, okay, shit. No business? We have?
Look at this. We're building businesses over here with my diabetic urine.
What are we going to call it? Like whiskey.
I like that.
Oh, you guys.
This
Who
actually
wants
just
a-
turned into
who
a
wants
business
a-
plan.
Yeah, people are lining up at
Yeah.
Daveco
Who
right
wants
now.
a cocktail? Those are only for guys.
Because they're going to taste a little different. The guys, diabetic guys versus the girls.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are welcome for all of that. Okay, Olivia, let's talk about something that you like, some coachable moments for our moms that maybe would be better not to do as a parent or a mom. And not to like, and we're not throwing moms under the bus here, but like,
Or your mom specifically.
because she's
like,
fucking badass,
yeah.
obviously. But like, what are some different things that felt less supportive versus more supportive at this point in your life?
So I've had a very interesting health journey this past year. I've experienced a whole bunch of just diabetes burnout.
Ooh.
And
What is that?
Yeah.
diabetes burnout. So, I mean, with diabetes, like you are constantly 24 hours a day, never off the clock, saving your own life.
Oh,
And so, like, just growing up, being a college, just being an adult itself gets exhausting. But when I have to constantly think, I always know what my blood sugar is. I always have to think about how much insulin I have. Like, it's always on average, a diabetic makes 180 more decisions a day than an average human. So, like, I'm just like, every day I'm on overdrive. And I have ADHD on top of that. I'm a forgetful human. Like, I'm just like, all these things coming at me at once. Like, I just can never like sit down. So like I feel bad when I'm just crashing out on everyone around me. But that's what I've been dealing with this past year, and it sucks because like with diabetes burnout, like you can get so frustrated with it, but guess what? It's still not going away. No matter how frustrated you are. So it's just like whatever. I have to keep going with that. I've also been like dealing with an eating disorder. Also, this other thing I've been learning about diabulimia, which is like an eating disorder, but like in the realm of diabetes, I guess. Which just as an education purpose, context wise, diabulimia is like when somebody withholds their insulin to lose weight, which is essentially like re-diagnosing yourself with diabetes. Like if insulin is your lifeline, without it, you die.
okay.
Simple as that, I guess. So not that
But when you withhold it, like, what is that? Tell me more about that.
over time, I mean, this
So
is
you don't have to eat food to balance it? Or what are you... I don't...
So withholding your insulin, it's basically like, I always think it's just kind of like re-diagnosing, putting yourself in DKA, which is a lot how people are usually diagnosed, is because they have a lack of insulin in their body, and then you're going through all these stages
This exhaustion, unexplained weight loss.
of
Okay.
all the things.
So you're
but
putting
that's
yourself into it,
because
but you
you
get
have
them.
basically diabetics have this hack, but
Yeah.
you're basically it's not doing it in a healthy way, obviously, because
Yeah.
you're stripping yourself of your lifeline. But you have a quicker way to do it. So that's that's something for somebody who has kind of like an unhealthy eating disorder brain. It's a very hard thing to like, oh, I always have this tool around me or whatever.
Yeah, that's got to be hard because
So-
it's readily available at all times.
Always. So with diabetes burnout, some of this like information, whatever, it's just been like a lot to handle. And then I got so because of this, I got a kidney infection back in March. Oh. So now I'm just like learning about what I kind of have been doing to my body, how I can not go down that path again or whatever. And so from my mom's perspective, this is terrifying because I'm in Arizona, she's in Colorado. Like we're this disconnect. And Cal talked about earlier, like I used to share my numbers on my Dexcom. I don't do that anymore. I just handle it myself and nobody else needs to see my alarms or whatever.
That's got to be hard for your mom and also good for her.
Exactly.
For both of you.
That's what I say. Cause
Yeah.
so that's why going back to school, she's like, I want you to share your numbers with me. I was like, it's tough because like, I understand like how terrifying it is from a parent perspective. Like it's like, I am your baby and you like, it sucks because like my health really is in my hands and I don't know how she can help me.
Yeah.
It's just the awareness of it all. And like, it's just like the acknowledgement is fine. It's just hard because like, I don't know how she can help me or whatever. And I know she wants to. And this is so terrifying. Like sending me back to school when I have all these things and it's my responsibility and stuff. And I don't show her my numbers, but I told her, I'm like, it's healthy for the both of us because I already am getting nagged constantly 10 times a day.
By my machine.
A million times a day. Like every endo appointment 3 times a month, what my A1C is, like, which is my blood sugar levels over a 3-month period, if for context.
Yeah.
But like I'm constantly getting nagged. Like that's my accountability is my own health and stuff. So it's like I don't need any extra nagging, and that's just where I'm coming from. Like it sucks that you have to trust that I'm taking it in my own hands at this point. But keeping her in the loop has been my hardest part. But I understand that it's necessary, and accepting help from her has been hard too because like. When you're chronically like unhealthy too, like you kind of feel like it's just a burden on everybody else too sometimes. But I also have to put myself in like my supporter's perspective that if somebody else was going through this, like I would want to help too. So it's always like so much back and forth, but I don't know. I don't, if you guys have any,
It's really,
question to redirect me, but
yeah, I think that it's, just like for perspective for me, who's outside of this whole realm of what you guys have both been going through, I'm thinking like, I think that you making that decision for yourself and for your mom, wonderful. Mm-hmm. It's also this time in your life that I think most people, relationships, parent-child relationship is going through that anyways at this time. Not necessarily like a medical way, but trying to kind of take some independence and some responsibility. And now I'm going to college and the parents are still like, but you're my child and I want to help you. And it's this back and forth already. So to have that on top of the normal way of having to do that anyways. Liv, I think you're doing a great job just holding that boundary with your mom, because in the end, it's going to be so supportive to your relationship with her in a way of resentment, maybe in some ways, just like you're saying, like, I already get nagged by so many other things that are there that are built in to nag you, but to keep you on track, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to have that, to give your mom permission to not have to do that as well for you is going to really, really strengthen and help develop your adult relationship with your mother, which I think is just wonderful and a very mature thing that you have decided. So that's amazing.
And I think too, just to piggyback on that, for her to be able to get to step into that next level of personal trust and I'm sure she's still worried, but with time, it's like my big girl, my mature-ish child is going to take care of herself. And what I get to do is I get to learn to let go a little bit, let go and let God, and just have that trust and faith. And it's going to be supportive in her development too. So I think that's something incredibly difficult and challenging that you guys are going through. And I can see how that juxtaposition would just be like, damn, what do we do here? But you're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's just a magnified perspective on what parenting is in general. A back and forth of when do you let go? When do you step in? When do you watch them grow and take responsibility? And when do you say, no, I don't care what you say. I still got to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm hacking into your Dexcom. You don't know I know your numbers, but I do.
Yeah.
Even when your kid turns 18 and all of a sudden they're off your My Chart. So now like none of the kids' stuff is on our My Chart. True. So they get to have their own privacy and their own conversations, which is wonderful. And as a mother, we get to support them as best as we can to step into their healthiest version. But like you like you said, are directed towards, like being in your early 20s is a challenging time for every single woman. Being in your 20s, like just that wrestle with yourself and your physique and your show up and making good choices that are right for your brain and your body, and then also wanting to have all of the different fun, and then you have all these restrictions. There's just a lot of pressure that it's going to take time and experience and growing up to get through. But I will tell you, eventually, like coming from a space of I don't know what sort of, like, I never had a diagnosed eating disorder, but like we've talked about on the show before, we're like, we've all dabbled, we've all tried our best.
Dude, if you grew up in the 90s, that's what the 90s was an eating disorder, pretty much. It was like, oh, this girl who weighs 125 is chubby.
Yeah.
And she's too fat to be on TV. And it's like, okay, well, I weigh 135, so I better just stop eating.
Yep. You just do your best. And 3 days later, you're like, I'm really hungry though.
I'm going to just shove all this Captain Crunch in my mouth real quick before I go to school.
And then maybe I'll barf it up. I don't know. And so we go through this phase, but it's been neat just being able to talk to young women about how there's this shift that occurs at some point where all of a sudden, like I can tell you, like Megan and I go to the gym to enjoy working out, and we eat what we want to eat, and we don't overeat. I don't know, like there's this balance where I no longer am consumed with calories, consumed with food, consumed with my physique. And I don't know when that happens for each of us, but there's this hope that it does happen where it's that part won't be consuming. You're always going to have your celiac, your other things that are pulling your direction and your decisions 180 extra times a day. But that will dissipate, just so you know. It goes
because
away.
That's the tough thing right now, especially just on the provider side, why it's so, where it doesn't feel like I can get the help sometimes, because there's just the crossover, all these things. It's very hard for other people to obviously it's tough for me to navigate, but it's very hard for them to piece together too, because the diabetes part, like I can't leave the numbers, I can't leave my food, I have to know how many carbs, you know, there's just, it's still just a learning process. And but that's why I like with working with my mom and stuff, I'm just like, I don't have a kidney infection right now. I'm doing okay. Like right now I'm in the learning phase, and you have to be in the learning phase too. And and I'm going to go to school, and it's going to be okay. If so be it, or there's an episode where I need to, or I'm hospitalized or ER visit or something like that. Like, and we need to pull out of school, I will be understanding in that aspect. But that's like, as long as we're like open and not too pushy on each other, like that's just the balancing act that we're kind of playing right now.
And that will even out too. And you guys will figure all that out. It's just a whole new, it's a growing moment for both of you. Yeah. You're in a growth stage for sure. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. So it like brings me to 14, 15 years from now, thinking about Witten going to school and doing his best to balance different things, like trying to be a normal student and I don't know if this is normal student, but you like experience what is alcohol like, or what is it like to try different things. And also you can't, because you have this disease. And if you do, you can't overdrink and you're going to be hospitalized. So I can just see where that stress and pressure and just trust. And the other thing that I continuously say is you have to let your kids make their own mistakes, because that's how they learn and grow. We just want them to be mistakes where they're still around afterwards.
Yep.
Totally.
You know, and that's hard for, I think, moms to face sometimes in all arenas, not just your health, but they've got to screw some things up to get to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Especially, I mean, he does have to be so just in tune compared to other kids with his own body and constantly with his own decisions and body. So I mean, that's this perspective definitely added on for you as he grows up, just with burnout in that sense, a health burnout.
Because you always have to be on. You do not get to be off ever.
Yeah. No, it doesn't stop. It's never ending.
It doesn't.
I mean, even just saying as a child you had to wake up twice in the night, not you necessarily, but someone had to wake up 2 times every single night. You don't get a night off of that.
Poke her little finger.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Then if she's low, be like, here, shove these Skittles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were low
like
one
a
night.
Yes.
So I'm like, here, shove these Skittles.
Yes.
And you're like, chew. You can do it. Good girl. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow.
Makes you resilient. So
Yeah. That's amazing. You're doing an amazing job, Olivia. Amazing.
thank you.
Yeah. So you said that you are now in college.
Yes.
And you're going to college in Arizona. Mm-hmm. How's that going?
I I love it out there. So I experienced a lot of loss my senior year. I lost my father and his mom, so my nana. And so during that like whole senior year, you know, we're starting to look at colleges, where to go, and I was like, my family is so small. It's just me, my mom, and my sister. So I'm just like, there's no way I'm leaving them. Like, especially after all that just happened, I'm not going anywhere. None of it. Like, I was hating on my friends who were talking about out of state, nothing. But now that I've done it and I chose to be the complicated child, especially with the shipping medication all over and all these different things, like, why not continue to be the hardest, most expensive child ever in our family? Why not? And
go big or go home, girl.
Best decision. It's
Take up that space.
It's so good to see what other people exist out there too, and just a new state, just new experience aside from what my sister had. And
so where did your mind change from not leaving to leaving? What was there like a moment that you remember? Or?
I have not a clue. So I was just, we were signing up or applying to colleges or whatever, and I think I chose like one or two chose UCSB and Arizona State. UCSB, for one, could never afford. Two, was never going to get in there, but I love the idea of Santa Barbara. Anyway, just had to do it. Just had to. And then I even like posted on my story, I was like, U of A or Arizona State, and Haley's like, if you choose U of A right now, like that, we can't be friends after that because her family's big. Arizona State compared to U of A. Anyway, aside from that. And then I got in and I still was just like, I didn't have a clue. We went out to visit over like Super Bowl weekend actually. So we didn't even get like an official tour. So we were just walking around. Nothing even clicked for me then, seeing all the palm trees. And then one day I was just...
this is nice.
And then one day I was just like, it was coming, college decision day was coming up, and I just decided, I went on Amazon, ordered an Arizona State shirt from my mom to pick out of the bag, and then I just applied that night, and I told her, I was like, okay, that's where I'm going.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Just sent it. I have no idea.
I love that. That's great. That's amazing. That's sometimes how the best things in life happen. You just you just do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you are done, so you have 2 more years. Do you have any prospect of staying, going, moving?
I don't care where I end up. If a job were to keep me out there, I'll stay out there, and I don't like the summers out there, but I love everything else about it out there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see where I end up. I have not a clue, and I'm happy to go anywhere that has sunshine.
That's awesome. Aww. So, okay, Olivia, if you were to give all these mamas that are watching a couple tips or suggestion in raising their babies, what are some things that you would say to a mama out there? No pressure.
Keep doing you. I think I don't have a child, but be as much selfish as yourself too. Remember that it's still your first time living also, and give yourself grace in all that aspect and all that comes with that. And, just love on your babies and show up for them because,
I didn't think I was going to cry.
I'm just over here just crying. I'm like, do these things.
Yes. But seriously, give yourself, this is your first time living too, as much as it is obviously ours. And,
baby, you don't understand how important that is, Olivia, to hear from you to say that, because so many moms, we talk about it and we say it and we preach it, but to hear it from
the mouth of babes
right there, that's really an incredible gift for you to give these moms.
You guys deserve so much credit, because you deal with so much behind the scenes that we don't even see, and I still don't even know half the shit that happened in my childhood and what was seen on the parent side of things. And just give yourself grace and show up for yourself. And as much as you show up for your kids, you have to show up for yourself too.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, babe.
That was so good. Sometimes we cry every episode. So
sometimes every
cool.
day.
Yep.
Sometimes every time. Or did I just get to you?
Yep. No, we just love you. We love you so much. You guys, she came She came back from Alaska last night. She's moving. She's going to school tomorrow, and she fit us in to get in here and share about just some experiences that you've had. So, Olivia, we love you so much, and thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you for the
being here.
opportunity.
Yes.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, and then when you're having a baby, let us know. We'll pop in the minivan. We'll come on over. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
Sprout out in 10 years or so.
We'll sit on the
A
couch
decade
this
from
time.
now.
Yeah, we'll sit on the couch for you.
I'll let you know when I'm going into labor, actually.
Okay,
Perfect.
You're all invited.
Okay, so we always close out by telling everybody we love their guts because we love their insides and their outsides and all their
Yes.
sides. So we love your guts. Thanks for watching.
Love your
guys.
guts.
Love your
All
guts.
of it, inside and out.
Inside and out. See you next Tuesday. I'd like to see how dirty our feet are.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.
We're going now?
Yeah, well, yeah. Now we're doing a podcast. And then
Yeah, you get as comfortable as you can.
watch this in my dick mic.
It's
Sure
like
wiener
right.
holder.
Do you
Yep.
have a 911 in there? 419er?
I'm not picking up a niner. What are you calling from a walkie-talkie?
I'm calling you from a walkie-talkie. Do you want to do any ASMR before you go?
Yes.
I got the gulp in there.
Done. Done
Cheers.
and done. Cheers. Dick
Let's
mic
go,
down.
girls.
Very nice.
Let's go, girls.